dos&d. Today we've got the kings of footy and cricket at the moment. We've got the Marmalade boys, Checkers and Srey. How are we, lads?
Good to be on. Good to finally meet in person.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's been a while, boys. We were just saying we were going to connect ages ago, like a year ago in Adelaide, perhaps. And then there's times, I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know why I'm bringing this up so early, but the old street talk. You know, when you came to Melbourne to do the grand final street talk, you're probably not aware of this, and we obviously are not as big as you boys on TikTok. But you pinched our spot on grand final day, 2022.
Really?
So we had to move across to a different part of the MCG.
What did we do 2022?
Street talk.
You boys are really
post
good.
game.
You boys are really good at the street talk.
Post game grand final.
Grand final.
We didn't do post game grand final.
I don't remember.
Are you sure?
We were in the Oval until about 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, we didn't leave.
Someone else.
Maybe it was somebody else.
People that look like us.
Yeah, I swear it was you boys.
We did every game that year.
Unless it was
except
a week before.
It might have been a
Prelim
or something. But
We were here.
We won't accuse. We won't accuse.
That was a bit weird.
We won't accuse you of that, boys. But
are you boys planning on doing that this year?
Hopefully,
you guys kill that. Like,
I
it
was
dominates.
discussing it this morning in a meeting with some other people, and be keen to branch out on it a little bit. Get it on YouTube. We've just been strictly doing TikTok with it.
Have you? Yeah.
But I feel like it'd be a cool piece to. We film. Sometimes we do it. We film like 20 minutes worth of interviews.
Oh man,
20 minutes.
Yeah, and then for TikTok, you got to cut down to the best minute. And I know they say like when you cut it down, it makes it better. But we always feel like we're losing some good bits.
I must admit, I loved it. It was the kid, the compilation of that young kid. Was he a Carlton fan?
Yeah.
And the build up, that was unbelievable.
he's so good.
He's a goat. And then we bumped into him at the Renegades game the other week. He loves it. I was talking to him. He said at school, all the kids get around him for it. So
how good's that?
this year we got to get him on. We got him a sponsor or something. We got to get him down to the club. For
What's his
or
name?
Something. I honestly wouldn't know. Prince of Carlton.
Prince of Carlton.
Our one rule we got told was strictly no kids. And
His dad was pushing him into it.
Yeah, I know. That's what happens. But then when we come back with the content and people working for it, they're like, no, boys, you can't use that. And we had some absolute gold. But talk to us about what do you reckon would be your most viral clips to date? What, like, when you just think, I know, like, it's a question without notice off the top of your head, but what has really helped you boys blow up? Because especially in the past 12 months, you guys are just absolutely killing it.
Well, there's viral in terms of like play counts, but then there's viral in terms of like hits people in their brain and they remember it over and over.
Yeah.
So sometimes the biggest play counts, people don't remember those videos.
That'd be our KFC stuff.
KFC videos racking up 5 million views on each, and I mean, there's been some videos go massive on Facebook. We have a few videos on Facebook get like 40 million views, but no one would remember them because they're not. They're not part of the brand. They're like KFC's not our brand, so it is eating it, but not not the videos we did there. Srey's goal is the number one.
Yeah.
We asked the audiences a few times and put them on the story, and that's the one everyone remembers the most, and everyone we bump into knows that one the most.
Of course,
I'd say that's the
Even
biggest.
the post, like the New Year's post, I loved that. You know, if you what was the time? If you put the game on at this time when midnight hits, Srey's goal.
Srey kicks his very first goal of all time.
That's crazy. I can't believe, was it Cardi that did that? I can't believe someone did
Cardman22 watched the stream.
He did it.
He
actually did it.
Yeah, he did it. That was unreal.
So you guys have obviously branched into the cricket as well, because you guys were obviously complete footy nuffies and footy creators. Have you seen that now kind of grow the audience? I mean, it probably already was international to a level, but AFL is obviously Australian. Cricket is so big. Like, is it now this huge opportunity to grow the Marmalade brand internationally?
Definitely. The audience was never international. The only international audience we ever got was the KFC video.
And it was like all Malaysian and like, it was so strange.
Because KFC is an international brand. Yeah, it was massive in like Philippines and Malaysia and all these Asian countries. But that was just one video out of like thousands that we've done. We had all Australian viewers. You post Aussie rules content, everyone that views is Aussie rules. We've noticed with cricket, we had the Cricket World Cup in India, so we were posting cricket content around that. Indian market went massive. Recently, a lot of like English market. And even the USA, which is weird. We get a lot of USA viewers lately on the cricket stuff. Even though you wouldn't think that's over there, but maybe it's just because we're opening ourselves up a little bit to internet. USA people, I wonder if you interviewed people in the USA, like, do you know cricket or footy more? They probably know cricket more out of shit.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, true. And I heard in the US, especially in pockets of the US, they're really pushing cricket because there's a higher Indian population now living there. So
that might be it.
There's a lot of universities that have like heavy Indian population and they're introducing cricket. Now US they've been playing cricket for a while, but I think they're taking it more serious. But how's the move to Melbourne been for you boys? How long have you been here for, and what have you kind of already found?
6 months.
I swear we get it messed up every time.
Yeah, we've been here for a month. No, we've been here. We moved over end of June, start of July. And we're here. It's so weird because we're here for 2 weeks, and then we went back to play that game where Srey kicked his first goal. So, for the most part, a lot of people didn't realise we were quite here as such because we were back and forth a little bit early days.
Yeah.
It's been 6 months, I'm going to say, and I've been back 14 times to Adelaide.
14?
Wow.
All work?
Mostly work, yeah, I'd say so. Mostly whether it's for a DJ gig or whether it's for one video or for the game or going back next week for the test match. So there's a lot of travel back and forth. But yeah, 6 months. I feel like we're settled now.
Yeah, very settled. Yeah.
What have you found is the most frustrating thing about Melbourne? So last year we had a mate of ours from London live with us for about 6 months, and he actually has got a decent following on TikTok, and he does travel videos and whatever. But one of his videos that blew up was in relation to the 5 things he hates about Melbourne. What are maybe a couple of things that you've found? And I reckon I've got one on the top of your head. I reckon.
What is it?
There's no bakeries.
There is no bakeries. Oh my, there's like 24/7 bakeries here.
No, there's no 24/7 bakeries in Adelaide.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
no, we have 4
What?
24/7 bakeries in Adelaide, so you can go get custard tart at 3 a.m, and that's a regular thing we were doing because we'd be at the footy filming. You go edit, and then you go get a coffee and a custard tart to 2 a.m. and it's regular. Like the place is pumping at 2 a.m. All these bakeries.
So busy.
Yeah. They would be a few people after a few beers. And
How far out of Adelaide were you actually living when you were there?
I was like 6 kilometres.
so
Me and
real
Srey
close,
lived
yeah.
together. We were
together.
we were 6 kilometres from the city. So
yeah.
there's bakeries are everywhere in Adelaide, and I don't think I've had a chocolate donut since moving to Melbourne.
Literally.
So
You got to drive a fair way out
country.
yeah, and you get some nice bakeries. But what about some positives about Melbourne? What would you?
there's a shitload of footy.
Yeah, lots of footy. Like meeting other content creators, I didn't think we were ever gonna meet. Like I grew up watching like cados&d,
Yeah.
Donald, and now like he's at my house every other day. Like,
Yeah.
we hang out all the time. So
Just
It's
a
surreal.
network around us.
Yeah,
When we're in
yeah.
Adelaide, if it was just myself, Srey, Jim,
it's a bit isolating.
and especially like one thing I've noticed is like you get offered to do a video or you go to a club to do a video and you don't really like Adelaide we never knew what the go was. Like we never knew what was acceptable and what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
But if we've got something coming up, we can bounce off. We can ask Will, we can ask Jarrah or Caden or someone that we know and see regularly that has done it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no one in Adelaide to bounce off. We were just doing it blindly, and then you look back and we probably did a lot of weird, dumb stuff. But
Yeah, you're like, oh.
just like little etiquettes and stuff in the content scene. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh shit, that's how you do it. Okay.
What
How-
about? Oh, sorry, you go.
I was just going to say, how have you seen yourselves improve in lots of different ways just based on who is around you?
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have coffee most days with, if it's not all, but most of that in a group that we've been doing a lot of collaboration with. And they always bring back tips and advice. So
Awesome.
you're sitting at the coffee table and we'll bring a video idea or be like, oh, we're going to go do this tomorrow. And they're like, oh, you should try this as well. And it always improves your videos. You always, massive amount of improvement in the quality and just some of our thought processes in making them. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What about you, Srey, with Tinder in Melbourne?
Oh,
How's that going for you?
Very well. I have a girlfriend now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Has this been announced, or have I missed this one?
Yeah, no,
No,
definitely.
it's been announced.
I missed this. The last because I was
he's
watching
well
it.
out of the loop. People are now
Yeah, no.
asking where he's been.
Oh, really?
Well, all right. Well, sorry. You have to
This is
fill
the
me in.
first time Srey's left. We haven't seen him for 6 weeks.
Oh.
And he heard we're doing dos&d and he actually
I
came.
had to get up for this. But no, I've been together for 4 months now, so I'm very much.
Melbourne has changed.
I
yeah.
swear,
Yeah.
mate. Oh God. Well, actually, my algorithm. I was getting videos the other day of you guys, and it was literally 6 months old. And I'm like, this. I was
Yeah.
watching like your vlogs, and then they were all relating to footy. So I must be on the wrong algorithm. So how's love life for you, Srey?
It's different. It's
Yeah.
different. But it's good and it's healthy, so I'm really enjoying myself.
Was it Tinder
No,
No?
just at the footy.
at the footy?
Yeah.
What about you, Checkers?
Nah. He kicks the first goal, gets the girlfriend. I didn't get to kick the goal. So, yeah. Nah, it's all good. I got Willie T, so we link up, hold hands, and go get coffee every day. So
Love it.
Oh yeah.
One thing you guys, which it amazes me how well you do this, is, and you just said it before, is you're constantly creating all the time.
Yeah.
But you guys barely miss a game. Like, and being in Melbourne, I remember a couple of times seeing you drive down to Geelong and even going to the women's and then the cricket, and then you guys never miss. So it's one of the key, like, pillars, for you guys personally, like, all right, where we want to go, where we want to be, is that we have to be at everything as much as we can, like get to as many contests as we can in a footy
pretty
term.
much.
Yeah.
Just saying that's a good footy analogy is just put ourselves in the right places at the right times. Being short format content creators, mostly, a lot of the ideas come
On the spot.
spur of the moment.
Yeah.
We can pre-plan some stuff and we do those campaigns and we pre-plan some videos But if we're at 7 games of footy, that's 55 ideas that are popping into our heads for just random little videos. So just being in the right place at the right times helped a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
With coming up with some of our best videos, not planned at all, and just rocked up to the footy and then gone, shit, we could do that.
Do you have a
Easily.
process? Like how do you guys in your, like when it's the two of you or the group of Marmalade, like how's a creative process aflow? Do you have, like for us, for example, we've got stacks and stacks of Google Sheets, for examples, and it's all broken down. Do you guys have something similar, or is it just more
phone notes, get a bit of a rinse? But mostly when we head to an event, you'll go to like the footy, and if you know like Collingwood are playing, then you're going to know some things that could go on.
Yeah.
So you're pre-planned a little bit. Your content's always going to be sporadic. Like our best content, mostly sporadic. Yeah. But if we know we're going to a Collingwood game, we're like, all right, well, the crowd's going to be a good one to look for. Darcy Moore's going to be a good one to look for. And you like have all these pre-planned, like, all right, if anything happens with one of those key points, and let's go hard on that. So it's sort of like...
Just like result.
Did you ever do those like spider web planning things in like primary school?
Yeah.
You start with this little bubble and you draw out to like 15.
Yeah, like a mind map.
Mind map.
Like,
You can mind map them a little bit. We don't go to that extent. You don't write them down, but you know, you can pre-plan your content as such to help jog the brain and get it moving when you get to those events.
Yeah, it's like if Collingwood wins, you know the crowd after the game's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
So let's put ourselves in that spot.
Got to be in that spot. Got to be in amongst it.
Yeah. And what about the podcast for you guys? You know, how long's that been going for? And obviously you got Will. Will's here. He produces that amazing podcast with you guys at Producer. How's that all going?
It's good. We're 22 episodes in. Yep. I reckon we've been doing it for about 18 weeks. So
it's been about there.
It was a hard one to launch because we just finished footy season. So what we knew the best, we've only ever done footy content. We know that so well. We couldn't put in the podcast. So we had to launch this podcast off launching cricket content, which was like we were trying to find our feet in the cricket content and we were trying to find our feet in the podcast game at the same time. So I guess if we launched it in footy season, we could, you know, we have a strong base and we know what we're doing and we've got lots to talk about. But in cricket, we didn't know what to talk about and what people wanted to hear or see. So
we'll try and stuff.
It's been handy in that sense because we can build a base and get a bit of viewer feedback so that come footy season, we can hit the ground running as well.
Sure.
So.
Well, I think, and I think for a lot of listeners too, it'd be really interesting to hear from your perspective, like how, I don't want to say planned, but to get to where you've gotten today, it hasn't just happened by accident. And people might look at you guys and see, you know, you joking around and being funny and all these videos that might seem random and spur in the moment, but I'm sure behind there's a process and a plan and a goal from the beginning. Like, even originally thinking when Marmalade started, what was the plan? What was the goal to versus where you are today? Are you surprised at how far you've got, or are you not surprised? Was it part of the plan? Do you have a 5-year plan?
No planning as such. We don't plan much further than a week in advance at times because it's all short format stuff. And I mean, campaigns and stuff we've done, like the Gill campaign or the longest kick.
Yeah.
So there's an end video goal. But we don't know. Sometimes we don't know when the end video goal is as well. So you don't even planning the end date. You're just planning the end video. But no, we started out we became mates, and a way for us to hang out was also just to make videos as well.
Yeah.
So at the time, Srey was living very far away. So when he came down to visit and we were hanging out, it became a good chance to go out and make those videos. We were doing the videos a little bit, and then it became a way for us, like, we'd go out, get lunch, go make a few videos, get the coffee, see you next week.
Yeah.
That was the initial early days, was like he'd make the 30-minute drive down, which in Melbourne doesn't seem that far.
Yeah,
but in Adelaide, we're talking like 40 kilometres away.
Yeah.
So far.
He's living out in the
whoop.
Yeah, that have
much.
animals behind his house. So there's just Srey behind his house.
No. But no, so far away, and then we moved in together, and then it just sort of organically happened. Like, instead of having a call or message me like, "Can you be here?" I just wake up and like, let's go do this now. So it became way easier, and then like I'm not surprised that we've got this far, but it's like really exciting. See, like, that we can make other people happy and make them smile.
for sure.
In turn makes us happy. So
There's never a plan. Like,
Yeah,
in
it
early
wasn't
days, we never had like,
planned.
we're going to be in Melbourne in 3 years, or we're going to be doing this. And it was more just like, we knew that we had the effort to keep pitching in, and we knew had the ideas to keep pitching in. So it was organically going to get there at some point. So.
Yeah.
When it comes to, like, so we had Kados and Rog on probably nearly a year and a half ago, and spoke to Kados a lot, obviously, about his YouTube journey, and you guys had him on your show, and hearing about how he actually makes a living from YouTube was really, really interesting. And I remember, I know you boys, were you boys working in pubs and stuff when you were in Adelaide? And I know you do the DJing stuff. How has the transition been to now doing content creation essentially full time. And how does it all come about? Like for the people listening who don't understand, you know, how a deal happens, you know, when a video you want to make and you make it for a club or a brand or someone, a partnership, how does it come about and how do you make money?
My background was the DJing, so I was doing a lot of marketing for the last 10 years in terms of marketing myself for gigs. And then with the pub work, I first met Srey when I was doing the marketing for a nightclub.
Yep.
So Srey started coming as a patron, and that's where we first met. I was DJing there as well, doing a lot of their bookings, doing a lot of their graphics and marketing. So it's something I've always been doing.
Yep.
But then the COVID sort of hit and the nightclubs shut up. So the marketing stuff, you know, I was pouring beers, I was DJing, I was doing marketing. Now I'm just doing marketing full time.
Bit of
So
a
it hasn't been
utility
too much
role.
of a transition.
Yeah.
I've just been putting more of my eggs into that basket. Obviously in a footy field now or a sporting field.
Yeah.
Srey, I guess you came from a just pouring beers background in the
Yeah,
early
yeah,
days, but he's always been a little bit social savvy. He's a little bit younger than me, and he's always on his phone. So always listening to podcasts and full of ideas sometimes.
Yeah, nice. But so on a more probably deeper level, so do brands come to you guys? Like you guys have built this empire of following. You know, obviously you work at producer as well. How does it all work for you guys day to day? What does your week look like? In advance, you say you don't plan. I'm sure when brands reach out to you, you probably have a bit of a plan. What does the week to week look like for Marmalade?
The early days, we put a lot of time into. We didn't make a lot of cash. We didn't make any cash really in Adelaide. We did a lot of time building a community.
Yeah.
And it's something I see a lot of startups that get frustrated because they don't get the money straight away, or they don't get brand deals, or they don't get anyone interested in buying into what they're doing. But we spent 2 years doing everything for free, going to events, filming on our own time, and building a following. And even the Div 12 season this year was all on our own time. Like nothing that was like paid gigs or anything. Everyone would be like, "Oh, you guys are rich. You're getting so many views," but you don't get money from views really.
Yeah.
No.
Until you get monetized on YouTube and you get lots and thousands of followers, which we didn't have.
No.
Yeah.
But now we're starting to see it a little bit. We moved to Melbourne because we knew there was a market to tap into eventually. You do like the trade. It's like being a trader. You do the apprenticeship, build a following and build your skill set. And then, now we can get a few brand deals and get a few sponsored posts and
Reap some reward for your effort.
Yeah,
you know?
most of the brands reach out to us now, which is handy.
Yeah.
Early days, you have to build connections. So it's same as any job, really.
Yeah.
Same as being in the music industry was you had to go to clubs and make friends with the owners and try to get gigs. And now we go to sporting events and bump into people who run sponsors or, work for companies and shake their hands. And you meet some good people because a lot of the sporting industry is filled with ex-sports stars or people who love sport. People who love sport sponsor sport. So it's pretty handy. You meet some good people doing that stuff. They're not just paying us and we never see them again. We mostly catch up with a lot of them regularly and they're actually pretty good people to hang out with. So,
it's nice.
And plus, like on the followings side of things, not only do you have such a big following, but you also have a lot of people that are well known, whether they're athletes or business people or that enjoy your content, know your content, which I'm sure helps too. But when you moved to Melbourne, what was did you come with a backup plan if something would go wrong, or is it just plan A?
No, I feel like we were outgrowing. It will sound a bit weird to people in Adelaide, but we're outgrowing Adelaide. Like we couldn't keep doing free work forever, and we couldn't just keep doing the same. Like we could keep doing Div 12 content, and we could keep making videos in there, but there's going to come a time where we needed to branch out, make this our job.
Yep.
And that probably there isn't a market for it in Adelaide. We were the only footy creators that we could find there at the time, and no one really wanted to buy footy creators as such. But in Melbourne, there's heaps of them. And there's heaps of footy, and there's heaps of sport, and there's heaps of opportunity to meet those people and most of those officers and most of those people that want to do deals and
I hear.
are here. So we had to put ourselves in the right place at the right time, just like we do with that content.
Yeah.
For sure. The well, I wasn't sure if I loved it or hated it. The boxy. How did the boxy come about? I'm intrigued because that blew up too in itself.
Yeah,
explain what it is and how did it come about?
Basically, the piece of plastic that you put in your shorts to protect your cock from getting hit by a cricket ball.
They're very handy, actually.
Yeah, very handy.
Especially for you these days.
Yeah, well, when Will just bowls it at my body line, it's got to have one in.
Well, like I said before, when we did cricket content, we didn't know what was going to go well. We've done stuff with footy and we know what people want to see at times, or we half know what they want to see. But when we started the cricket content, we didn't know what people wanted, so we were trying to find some unique ways to be a little bit different and have our own branch. 'Cause
Yeah.
we watch English. There's a lot of English creators and a lot of
Yeah.
overseas creators that make content. But I was like, I don't know if I want to just copy them.
Mm.
They're probably better at cricket than us.
They're probably
as well.
they've been doing it for longer, and we should make our own niche thing. So the first game I drank milk out of a box just to see if it would work, and it got a lot of hate initially.
which is good.
Hate's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, it is good,
100%.
but I was just surprised. I thought it would have.
Well, it turned a lot of heads, which was good.
Yeah.
Hate, but also turned a lot of heads and made a lot of people go, "Oh shit, these guys are doing cricket content now."
Yeah,
So,
okay.
and then the next week, Will drank out of his box.
Will
The week
drank out of
after,
the box.
Jared drank out of his box. That one went pretty viral. I got a couple million views. And then Srey drank out of a box,
Yep.
and we got washed out a few weeks. And going to the Boxing Day test, I was like, need to think of something good to do here. But didn't have the plan to drink out of the box initially. Just was like, let's put the box in, dress in full kit. Something will appear. You know,
Yeah.
put ourselves in the right place at the right time. Don't know, it was one of our mind maps.
Yeah.
One of the bubbles was maybe we can do a box here. Maybe we can play a game of cricket inside with full kit on.
Yep.
And then Bay 13 started getting really rowdy, and
Very
the
much
rain
like that.
started kicking in, which was what made me. We had a young bloke with us who was underage, and he's learning about content, but he kept poking me all day, going, "Go to a boxing now, go to a boxing now." And I was like, "It's still early in the day, man. You got to let the crowd."
Yeah,
It was
be-
like 11 a.m.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I saw the rain kicking in. I was like, "Well, we're probably going to go home soon anyway."
Yeah.
And I knew the box was going to be at risk of us getting kicked out.
Yep.
Oh, really? You
Really?
had a feeling
Yeah,
that
because they
might-
kick people out for sculling beers and stuff. So I was
Do
like,
they?
Yeah. So I was like, if I'm going to get kicked out, at least the rain's going to kick in and they might get away with it. People were going nuts. People were taking their shirts off and
so
doing
strange.
shoeies, and the crowd was uncontrollable at this point. Like the security and the police were starting to storm into
Oh,
Bay
no.
13. And I thought, all right, perfect time. Let's go do it. And we went down there with Will, and I saw a guy in a South Sydney Rabbitohs
Of course you
jersey in
did.
the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was another guy that was wearing full kit, which it wasn't pre-planned, but they were there, and I knew those two pieces were going to be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
love the random Rabbitohs fan, and,
They do.
and the fact that we were in full kit and there was another guy in full kit, I was like, that's great.
That worked well.
So we made sure that we went to their area and got in amongst them, because it's hilarious that they were there, and did the boxy, and then it got happened.
News.com wrote about us.
Was it?
The News.com wrote about us.
And
Yeah, I
then
saw
news.com
that.
wrote about it. Yeah, we didn't get kicked out, which was good because the security was probably focused on other things. But the police afterwards knew our content. A couple of the police, I was like, "That's funny."
Yeah,
as."
yeah.
So they probably see it. Yeah, we stand out. We got mullets and we got recognisable faces.
Yeah.
So
Have you ever had one name come across, like, follow you, say on Instagram, that as just going back 5 years ago or as to 10 years ago, as young blokes that love their sport, where you be like, geez, this is a dream that this person is following me, and it's almost like a fanboy moment? And if so, can we drop some names?
What's the first one?
I remember our earliest one. Our first,
Yeah,
like,
who was
our
your first one?
first like blue tick that popped up was Jono Brown.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
that's
so
a big
good.
one.
Like, yeah, I used to that 2003 sort of era when they won the
Yeah.
3 flags. He was massive, so that was big for me. It might have been a little bit before your time that he was really
Yeah.
kicking about. Recently, we did a video with Adam Gilchrist.
Yeah,
and
that
that
was
was
huge.
one of the
That's my
coolest
favourite one.
ones we've done.
Yeah.
Great video.
And then we bumped into him again just after the boxy, and he was all about us again.
Yeah.
So he remembered our faces and stuff, which was cool. I was
Yeah,
like,
cool.
sometimes you do videos where you meet the big guys and they don't remember, they just follow or they don't don't remember you. But the fact that Gilly like knew our names and was like, "Oh boys," like
Yeah, it was
That's
about
awesome.
us.
that was crazy. That he remembered us. So yeah, that was pretty cool for
Gilly's
me.
a big one, I think, for me.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What-
Has to be.
What's he like, Gilly?
Oh, old-time bloke, like a legend. Like, as he comes across on the TV, he's the exact same person, which is
Yeah.
huge. So.
And he's got 3 young lads. Like I think one's
Okay.
17 and one's like 20,
Yeah.
early 20s.
right in your sweet spot.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, they sort of he understands it all and he's in tune with most of what's going on. So yeah,
He actually posted a photo of us with his sons on his Instagram.
Did he?
yeah,
Really?
Yeah, it was really strange. It's just that his 2 boys and me, Checkers and Will, and he's like,
because he thought we were famous. So he's like, boys, you got to get a photo with these guys. They're famous. And I was like, this is Adam Gilchrist.
That's
the
incredible.
greatest keeper to ever play for Australia.
How cool. Oh,
that's
that's
so
nice.
cool.
What about you boys personally? Like, obviously, we know you guys. You love your footy. You love your cricket. Away from the content side of things, what other stuff do you love doing and enjoy doing? Do you love other sports? Obviously, you play cricket. What do you enjoy doing away from the
Srey
content?
likes playing Fortnite.
Fortnite?
Oh, yeah, well, it came out again. So I was
Nothing
playing
wrong
a
with
bit
that.
more. But no, I watch a lot of NBA.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm big into NBA. I'm a Utah Jazz fan, so we're not good at the
Oh,
moment.
tough
But
season.
I've always loved the NBA. Like it's I keep it pretty quiet because it's like not really important to what we do in the content. But like I watch all the highlights. So if the Utah are playing at a reasonable time, I'll watch the game. I just love it.
would you consider America and basketball content or
I
not?
feel like people are doing it. Like I feel like it's like being done. I feel like I consume so much of it. Like there's not much that hasn't been done. And I feel like in terms of like Aussies doing it, like Tom Mitchell just went over there and he's doing a lot of content there. So it's like, it's hard and getting over there is expensive. So like maybe I would
cool
consider
experience. We said it on last week's pod. Someone sent it in and asked if we'd do American sport, and I was like, we could do it, and it'd be cool to do it, but I feel like it's not our strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other people do it better, and we know footy better, and they know sport, US sport better. So we better not like.
I don't want to step on anybody's toes, and I think if someone's already doing it better than me, like
We'd just be copying what they're doing. We wouldn't be doing anything fresh, I don't think.
no, not really.
Well, that's even an interesting point. Like you talked about stepping on toes, or potentially this person's already doing it. Do you think that's a reason why people should not go into a space, or do you think like when you guys are coming up with ideas, is like what is the number one value to you? Is it that it has to be something that nobody's done before?
Not necessarily. I think if someone's truly passionate about something, like example, if someone truly loves the NBA and is like all about it and they want to go all in on that content, they can definitely do it. I just think that we're not knowledgeable enough about that space to get into it. So if you know and you have an understanding and you're passionate, that's completely fine. But I feel like if you're just going to go into something for the sake of going into it because you want to be recognisable or you want to be notable, it's not worth your time.
Sure.
There was one, when I started out music production, one of the early things people said was you can either be a copier, like a sheep, like a copier or a creator.
Yeah, okay.
So if you be a copier, you get the early recognition. So same with content. If you want to go copy other people's styles or copy their video ideas, yes, you'll get early recognition, but you'll never crack it big.
Yeah, okay.
Because like it's the people who are the creators. They grind away, and you see in music all these like original artists will grind away for years, and then when they finally have that one single that pops off, they go internationally famous and tour the world. But the people who are just doing covers of stuff, they get all the early gigs around the place and all the early recognition, but they're never going to go.
Yeah.
So it's like if you can find something unique to your content and, you know, be a creator, which was that boxy. I was like, we can go do video highlights with a GoPro on our helmet, but there's already 50 people doing that.
Yeah.
Are we going to be the best at it? Probably not. Do other people doing it longer? Probably yes. So let's do something that no one else is doing a little bit. So there's always going to be copying elements, especially in sport, because there's only so much you can cover.
Yeah.
You've got to start. You can't go too extreme.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can be unique in that space, then you're going to go a lot further.
Yeah.
How do you boys go? Well, obviously, when it comes to ideas and brainstorming and stuff, it obviously comes somewhat naturally to you boys. Ever clashed? Have you ever found yourselves or any other creators as well, like in a good way, like I think we can do that better, or I don't like that idea. What do you think about this? Or is it? Are you guys just typically open to anything?
We punch on all the time.
No, we're pretty crazy, I think.
Yeah.
I think if one person thinks it's a good idea, it's like pretty valid. Like, if he's got an idea, why would I be like, no, that's shit? Like
the our old housemate in Adelaide, Jim, his account is called Anything Is Content.
Yeah.
And the basis on that was that any idea you had could be viral. So it was like, don't just lock yourself into thinking that you have to do a certain style, because he's done content for years on other platforms, and then he sort of realized, I don't have to do what people want me to do. I can do anything.
Yeah.
And early days, he was trying to make all the stuff people thought wouldn't go viral. That was his whole aim of his account.
Yeah.
Clever.
So if someone said, no, that's a dumb idea, he'd double down on it and make it not a dumb idea. That was his whole premise of his account.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He's so stubborn too. Like,
But if he had come up with this idea and someone's like, that's dumb, that's not going to work, he would go away and be like, we're going to fucking make this work.
But I think that's such a good point, because I know a lot of people that want to make content, but they're waiting. They're like, I got to write this great script and create this amazing video, and then it's going to blow up, and I'm on Joe Rogan next week. Like, that's their attitude. Where it's like, I think what I love about you boys and what we were talking earlier, what we really respect is just the amount of content you put out. Like, I feel like you guys put out more than pretty much anybody we follow, at least. And it's it's like, and when we started, we were the same. Like, we're like, well, we tried to make things perfect. You edit everything to a T, like blah, blah, blah. But in the end, you're not actually putting stuff out and giving yourselves an opportunity. And I think, like, do you have advice for people listening that want to get into the space but are too afraid to take that initial leap?
We left a lot of we haven't deleted any of our early videos, and I respect a lot of creators that do that. We've mentioned on some previous pods, I think, but like Mr. Beast on YouTube, like, left all his original videos up, and it's like a good way. Our first videos were terrible.
Oh man,
shit house. The production quality was terrible. The music was too loud. You couldn't hear us speaking. All sorts of stuff like that. But at the time, we thought it was great, and everyone else thought it was great because we were just getting out there and getting our foot in the door. And you're going to learn along the way. Like, when we first started, we were terrible, but now we're in Melbourne and we're getting paid to make videos. So
awesome. Yeah.
the best way to do it is just start doing it. You'll learn, you'll meet people, you'll learn tips. You're not going to know everything from just sitting down writing ideas, are you? So you got to get that, like, I don't know what it's called, like that feedback from people.
Yeah.
They use it in cricket a lot when you're like batting and they say, yeah, you learned because you played a bad shot.
I think you've also really got to be like comfortable being uncomfortable. I don't know who said that. Someone said it, and I remember being like, that's like really
You keep
important.
quoting that.
Yeah.
So someone's going to pull you up on that one
Yeah,
day.
because I don't know who said it. But I keep
I've seen
remembering.
it. I've seen it on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then
Was it Coach Carter? Like,
You know
you seem
what?
like you
You know
love
what?
basketball.
What was it?
Ned Brockman.
Ned Brockman.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
He's
Sounds
used
like-
it every podcast we've ever gone on. He brings it up. It's like it's written on his hand, like podcast. Comfortable being uncomfortable. Make sure you mention.
It's just like important, like
Yeah.
being like you like be yourself, but like be comfortable getting outside of your own skin and not just like. In terms of like us, we're not introverts, we're very extroverted. But if you are introverted, it's important to put yourself out there because people are gonna like you for who you are if you're genuine and if you just be yourself.
Yeah. Have you guys ever found along your journey, like you guys seem very inclusive, right? So there's other creators out there who probably see people doing similar content and go, no, like that's my lane. Like I can't invite him on our podcast or I can't collab on a video. How have you found, and I know the answer, but I'm keen to hear you guys just share and elaborate more on it, but being able to actually go, no, there's enough of there's a piece of the pie for everyone because you guys collab with probably nearly every footy creator out there. Was there any piece of you in the beginning that made you think, oh, can we, or are we stepping on toes, or
You learn
Yeah.
off them. You learn the most off
Yeah.
doing the
Yeah.
collabs. So, even recently we had Andy Munro come up from Narracor, and he says some interesting stuff because he lives in Narracor, which is in the middle of nowhere. It's like in between Adelaide and Melbourne, and he's got 100K TikTok followers, and which I think is crazy because he lives on a farm. The nearest house to him is 20 kilometres. The nearest city to him is like a 30-minute drive away. No one's got internet out there, but he's got 100K followers. And I was like,
crazy.
how have you built this? Because the only way we've built our brand up is by meeting other people and learning skills.
Yeah.
so true?
So I was like, how has he learned all these skills? And then he came to Melbourne recently and he was like, this is the best. Like he spent just 2 days with us and he was like, this was so cool. I learned so much. And I was like, oh, see, like it's exactly that in the essence is that you hang out with other people that do it and you learn the bits that you don't, the bits you don't know that they know,
Yeah.
you learn
Yeah.
off them. And the bits that they don't know off you, they learn. And it's a really like sharing experience.
Do you have any collabs that come to mind that, like we asked about viral at the start, but more like fun? Like when you like think about that was just an unbelievably fun day with other creators. Is there any videos that come to mind or projects you've worked on?
We did one yesterday.
Yeah, the one yesterday was really cool.
Oh, I loved that actually.
Yeah, that was so cool. The Finchy stuff was amazing.
Yeah.
For those not in tune, Srey broke our oven earlier this year at our house. We just moved in, and he didn't get a batter bowl at cricket, and he was pretty filthy about it. So, in footy, he doesn't have a touch, but that's on him because he doesn't get
It's like, can't
you know
find the footy.
because you're slow and you're nowhere near the footy.
Yeah.
Fair enough, that's me. I'm shit at footy. Fair enough. But at cricket, if you're it's out of your control. You can just be not given a batter or a bowl, and then you're like, fuck, I really deserve a crack. Whereas at
Yeah.
footy, you had the crack, you got given the crack,
Yeah.
you just didn't do it well.
To the point.
Yeah, like,
So
it's
he
true.
came home and he was pretty filthy, and he smashed a few beers, and then he smashed our oven.
Yeah, well, I didn't do it on purpose. I was just shadow batting. I was like, look what I can do, and then just went back on one and just shattered the entire oven.
Yeah, Finchy went for it, didn't he?
Yeah, well,
Oh my god, did he ever?
I was shocked.
there's a fun, Finch, we found out somehow that Aaron Finch lived in our house early days of living in
So that's
Victoria.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I don't know how many years. I could ask him next time I see him, but I think it's like 10 years ago. He seemed like he was pretty young, like early 20s maybe.
Yeah.
So maybe even longer. But he remembered the address and he told us all about his house. And
That's so weird.
yeah.
It's so strange.
Yeah, so because Srey broke the oven, we're like, let's take an oven and get Finchy to smash it to build that connection. So yeah, Finch, I'm thinking Aaron Finch, ex-Australian captain, playing his last game of cricket, maybe doesn't want to get risk of injury. No. We're like,
No.
Finchy, do you want to put safety goggles on? He's like, nah. I was like, all right, just tap it and it will break. He's like, nah, I'm going to smash the shit out
He
of
just
this.
smashed it.
That's
I
so
was-
funny.
I remember,
The glass went 40
Yeah.
meters away. He hit it that hard.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
I'm just like standing here looking at the broken oven. I'm like, he's just belted this oven. And there's glass everywhere. And he just walked off. I was like, oh, that was heaps funny. And then just walked off. I'm like,
And it was best because there was a media presser
That's
happening.
hilarious.
He had to go straight to a media presser after, so there was all the traditional media of like
So
radio.
they saw it.
Well, they heard it. They didn't
Yeah.
see it because they weren't looking. They were looking, waiting for him to rock up. And they just hear this big smash and turn around. And there's Aaron Finch with a cricket bat in his hand.
oh,
So I wonder if anyone interviewed him about it. I don't know. I have to look back through some interviews, but
yeah, that was so rare.
That was
So
awesome.
strange.
that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
There's the randomness.
Yeah.
You
It's
can
being different.
you can go interview a footballer and ask him how their game was any day, but you can't getting to smash an oven every
No.
day. It's
No.
just got the cool stuff like that. The
Yeah.
uniqueness of it is that creative side we were talking about before. Like when you build your videos, you can copy other people's styles, but when you do something that's so unique to yourself, that's what makes it fun.
Plus, they remember it. They've done a million interviews, but
Yeah.
they're never. He's never forgetting that.
No,
Yeah.
never.
I think that's the key, and same with us. Whenever we've had a guest on, whoever it is, like you guys mentioned about when you build a connection, it's ongoing. It's like continuing to kind of build a relationship, and have a friendship of some sort. But you never know when you might need each other's help. And when it comes to like bigger names, like Aaron Finch, he's probably gone home, told his wife, I've never done this in my life.
Well, yeah, if we imagine him getting home and someone saying, "How was your day?" What would be the first thing you say? Would you say, "I batted the nets for the 10,000th time. I faced the media for the 10,000th time, or I smashed my very first oven"? What would you be bringing up first?
so
So
true.
strange.
Yeah.
It's so good. So can you define for us, because we're even confused, what defines Marmalade? How many members are currently part of Marmalade? How do you get into this? Is it like a secret handshake kind of system? Like who's currently Marmalade?
I think it's like a bit of an open project.
Because we were saying when we invited you on, we're like, Marmalade's coming on, great. But then we're like, how many are going to rock up? We're not even sure anymore.
Yeah. In Adelaide, it was myself, Jim, and Srey.
Yeah.
Now we moved to Melbourne. Initially, it was just myself and Srey the day we
Yeah.
moved, but then we met Will, Jarrah, Caden.
So Caden's part of it now?
I wouldn't say he considers himself part of Marmalade, but he will be playing footy with us this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Have you got a team, by the way?
We do.
Is it
have
on
it in
the-
the works? Can't announce
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
We've got
We're
announcements
putting
coming
something
soon.
Is it Melbourne or Victoria based? Or?
Victoria based?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
yeah.
going to be playing over here this year. So, yeah. I
Jeez, that would have been a nice big contract, I reckon, boys. Yeah.
No, no money in the footy.
No.
No. But I think by the end of the year, Caden will be Marmalade. He doesn't know it yet, but
No, he
he
Is,
does
plays
is
footy
Connor
with it.
part of it?
Yeah, Connor will be part of it. He has to go to Mexico for a little bit throughout the year. I know that.
Oh,
and
dear God.
he's got a bit on, but he's very keen to be involved. He's probably the most keen, actually. He's come home from... He didn't want to initially play footy because he knew he was going to Mexico, and then Caden's got in his ear. And then I think 2 days later, he's come back with a running program
Oh
for
my
everyone to start
gosh.
doing.
He's not in bad nick.
He's a
No,
very
he's
good
a
Nick.
very
Yeah.
good Nick.
So he's been taking us down to like Vic Park and Olympic Park to do running programs lately.
I saw
my
a photo and he had his shirt off the other day.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, he wasn't afraid to...
To be
get
fair
the
though,
rig out.
Will had his shirt off as well. So,
Will's got a lovely rig.
yeah, it was pissing down with rain, and Connor goes, "Let's go to the park for a running session."
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's all in.
Was that-
He's
all
very in.
Wow, he loves it. Well, I remember, and I never watched the video. I just remember you telling me about the video. There was a video about, I think it was Kados and Rog. They did like a training session with Tom Mitchell at Vizzy Park or at Carlton there, and Rog actually kept up with him for a while.
He's
Like,
fit. His skills are terrible. His fitness is
he's
elite.
so good.
He even yesterday in the group chat he sent through a pre-game playlist. It's January.
Oh, my God.
And he
Oh
sent
my
through a pre-game playlist.
It's a
of-
collaborative Spotify playlist.
and he goes, "Chuck, what songs you want in there for pre-game?" I was like, "First game is months away."
So
that keen,
he's
so-
leaving his beloved Banyul.
Yeah, that's what he was going to go back and play for Banyul.
Mm.
And then Caden said, "If I'm going to pull on the boots, I need you to come play
Yeah.
with me. Like, you
Yeah.
can't abandon me."
NFL is a good league.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's going to come out and play with us, which would be good. It'd be good because we do live with him. I don't know if we've said that, but
Yeah,
we do
yeah,
live with
we
him.
do,
So
yeah.
just to have, we have it a little bit with cricket where Will and Jarrah and myself and Srey will like congregate at the house the night before, congregate at the house in the morning. You know, you pre-game discuss all some content ideas and just some fun, and then post-game we all congregate at the house, have dinner, and just chat shit. So
Yeah.
it'd be cool to have Connor, Caden, all that group around this
Yeah.
year. Instead of me listening to Srey just brag about how he got 2 touches for the next 4 days, I can listen to some other stories.
yeah.
Those are good stories.
Because we'd get home from Lockleys and Shrey would be like, "Yeah, I rolled this guy and sold candy and yeah, had a touch." And I was like, "Shrey, you had 1 touch."
Yeah, perfect.
I'd take that as well, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Actually, watching your cricket content this year, it's made me want to play cricket again. Like, it's genuinely made me, because I was never a great cricketer, but and by the way, you guys are flying in the cricket. I'm not saying you're poor cricketers by any stretch, but
Terrible
it's making
cricketers.
it's
No,
making
we're
me.
so
But
bad.
it's like, oh, maybe I would like to play at a lower level cricket.
Maybe it's just highlighting to those blokes that don't have the time commitment or what stress it. If you go out to footy or cricket, you have to do a pre-season, you have to go to training,
Yeah.
you have to be good
True.
enough to get picked.
That's a good point.
That there is leagues low enough for you to fit into.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
that's
just roll
so
in,
true.
roll out.
Because I remember when I was playing in Adelaide, I gave it up because I used to be okay at it, and then towards my early 20s, I started realizing what alcohol was and what nightclubs were, and
Yeah.
playing gigs until 3 a.m. and then rolling into cricket wasn't the handiest. So
No.
ended up in the D grade and ended up not getting the battle bowl, and then you just feel like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
But if I found a league lower, then I probably would get a battle bowl. So just keep making lower leagues. How low can we go?
Well,
Oh,
maybe
keep going.
maybe you'd pull on the boots again, Dos.
Well, I've
Would
always
you-
wanted to, but I'm too scared for a preseason. Like,
Yeah, well-
I'm sure you feel me, Srey, but
Yeah.
I'm too scared for that. And I don't think I ever want to do another preseason in my life.
It's
But
nervy.
Look, Connor Rogers has got a few spots in his running program.
Yeah.
Left, so
I've taken a step back from that. I'll tell you that.
Boys, if you saw, I've literally got a cricket ball in my groin area. I've got a hernia the size of Texas, and it's until that gets cut out, which I saw the doctor the other day. We'll be talking about it on the podcast later today. But until that gets cut out, I've got to be a bit careful. But do you want to bring up is it time for golf?
Yeah,
box
I
again?
reckon.
Yeah.
So our good mates at GolfBox, I'll put that box in front of you boys there. So GolfBox, they're the one-stop shop for everything golf. I don't know if you boys are golfers yourself. Do you have a hit here and there?
I am the worst golfer you've ever
I'm
seen
happy
in your
you've
life.
said that.
I
I'm
am
really
the
happy you've said
worst
that
golfer.
because we went to the driving range and Srey before we went there goes, yeah, I'm pretty good at golf. He was very confident. Will is sitting back off the camera, but he would back me up here that Srey was very confident.
I thought I was the best thing since sliced bread.
Heading to the driving range, and he goes, and then we get there, and we've only got one tee between four of us on the driving range spot. He goes, I'll go first. Show
I'll
you
go
how it's done.
Oh, here we go.
Puts the ball down. First, big swing, no ding. Second, big swing, no ding. Third, clips it so it just like rolls off the tee.
Oh my gosh.
Fourth, hits it into the side railing, and it almost hits like an old lady. Fifth, finally hits one. It goes like 12 meters.
Yeah, and I did my
And then
back.
he goes, I'm done.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Done.
Well, we're
Yeah,
about
did
to,
my
in
part.
a few minutes, we're about to help you boys out exclusively. But what I will say is what's in the Golf Box is brought to you by our good friends at GolfBox, Australia's greatest golf superstore. If you need it, they have it, and it gets to you fast and free. Shop online at golfbox.com.au, and they will sort you out.
Essentially, what this game is they've collabed with us to make a fun, kind of quirky little segment. So you watch and you listen to a podcast sometimes, and there might be a sponsor segment, and it's just a generic, overarching kind of question, and tell us that question. We've got a few quirky ones in there that might be somewhat different. There might be a couple of challenges as well. You boys, if you want to, grab one out and you both maybe answer the question or do the challenge.
We can do that.
You want to go first?
I'll go first. Yeah, I'll go first.
All right, come on, Srey. Have a good dig in there.
Got a few tats, Srey. I didn't realise that.
Yeah, no, I just got them while I was in Adelaide, actually,
Did
a couple
you?
weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, they're brand new.
Yeah, brand new. I thought they were going to fall out. What's the most awkward encounter with somebody famous?
That's a great one for you boys,
Yeah.
because you deal in this space.
I don't know if it was awkward, but for me, we met Eddie Betts recently, and he's my favourite player of all time. I grew up watching him in Adelaide. I wear 18 because of him, and I met him, and I was just so nervous that I said hey, and I didn't say anything. Nothing else came out of my mouth.
No
and
introduction.
I had all these questions I wanted to ask him, and talked to him for a little bit, and all I could get out was, oh, "Hey Eddie," and I just felt like such an idiot. And I'm like, and I've met him before. That's the issue. I met him when I was younger, and I spoke to
Yeah.
him before.
He knew who he were. He's very connected
Yeah.
to Lockleys.
Yeah.
He fully was he said, Srey, what's up, brother?
You're
That
kidding me.
goal was
Yeah,
sick.
yeah,
and then
yeah.
Srey goes, hey Eddie.
I just couldn't get anything
Was this
out.
and you met it, and
This
he
is
was at the longest kick
This
as
is
well.
at the longest kick. Yeah.
So
How many
I just-
times has this played through your head?
Oh,
over
hundreds of times.
So it wasn't like he just poked Eddie and was like, hey Eddie. It was really
Yeah, it's
like Eddie was like
like
dapped
I-
him up.
like,
Like,
yeah.
Srey, brother, you're my favourite. Like,
Oh,
I
he's
just couldn't get
giving you a
anything
pump
out.
up.
Yeah, it was all about me, and I was so overwhelmed. I just couldn't get any words out or anything I wanted to say, and I was like, oh,
Hey, Eddie.
Hey Eddie.
Hey, Eddie.
I was like, oh my god. I walked away from him. I'm like, I'm just such an idiot. Why have I done that?
That's hilarious. We'll go and check. Why don't you put your hand in the box and see what you can pull out?
what's one moment you knew you stuffed up?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys have done a lot of, forgot to click record kind of things. I'm sure you've got a few stories. From
Yeah.
Always happens with the pod. That's not
I'm trying to think of
really?
the best one. We've had a few where we use those Bluetooth mics and the
Oh,
cables can be a bit dodgy. And recently what happened with my iPhone, this actually happened at Renegade's training the other week, was my iPhone in the charge port collects dust. I don't know if anyone's ever
Yeah,
dealt with this.
yeah.
But as a result, my charger kept going on and off. It wasn't charging properly, and I
more
thought maybe
wrong.
my charge port was broken or I got water in the phone. But then I took it to Apple and they said they pulled out dust,
Yeah.
heaps of it. You'd be surprised how much you could store in there. It was like a meter worth of dust. in
belly
a little
button
charge
worth.
port. Yeah,
Yeah.
more than 10 belly buttons worth. So then your microphone plugs into the iPhone for anyone who doesn't know how that works, and it wouldn't read my microphone because there was dust in there. So we recorded this whole session. I got home, there was no audio.
Oh.
Because I've got too much lint in my pockets or something. I don't know what it is, but yeah, that's one moment we stuffed up.
Oh.
We went to do the street interviews or the like crowd interactions because we did it 2022 finals, like we said off the top. And one night we rocked up because we had a bad run. Our deal at the time, I think it was 5 weeks. It was the Collingwood-Carlton game where Carlton lost and missed out on finals, and then we did the 4 finals. And every week something just went wrong. But there was one night we rocked up to the G. What happened? Like, did we forget? Like,
I think we forgot the memory cards.
And so we go to so we didn't go to the game. We were living in Hawthorn, so it was probably like a 10-minute commute. But we timed it because, as you know, like there's a small window where everyone floods out of the MCG, and then basically the crowd dissipates. If you don't get your content there, you're pretty fucked. So we rocked up, we're ready to go, and Tosh just looks at me and he just goes white in the face. I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, there's no memory card. And we're like, fuck. And it was a brand collab, so there wasn't like, oh well, we'll come back. We're like, what do we do? But the iPhone surprisingly saved our skin.
And we've done the old, I don't know if you guys have everything stored in like a drive or like a cloud, or like we've wiped hard drives and, you know, that kind of
100
thing.
episodes worth of
But
content.
you learn. Because the next time you'd have 2 different, you'd bring an SD card and you'd bring an SD
Exactly.
card. Yeah, I reckon a couple of early days we left, either the batteries were flat or... So now we go so prepared to those things. Like we have 2 different sets of microphones. We have portable chargers. We have the GoPro in case the phone dies. We have, you know, there's all these different ways you can back it up. But then you learn from each of those mistakes. So it's
exactly.
stuff up. So
That's how I think it's calmed us down in moments where we're like, gee, we could just, like, we're so angry or so just flat and upset. But we're like, all right, there's a reason it's happened. It will never happen again.
Yep.
And yeah, shit happens, unfortunately. But boys, because you completed that challenge, GolfBox have very generously given you a $250 GolfBox voucher. So you can head over tonight or
some new sticks.
yeah, some
Willie T is going to be a big fan of this. We went and played golf last week with Willie T. And
Lift that up, Srey, and show it to the camera.
And Will, by the way, make sure you get in on this as well. This is
we lost all his balls, so he's going to need some new
So
golf
he's
balls
due.
to start with.
yeah, shirts, balls, tees,
Balls,
clubs.
We only played 9 holes and we lost every single ball in his bag. So
Well, get some
Really?
get some lovely
Well, Will
Titleist
signed
or
up to
Pinnacles.
play golf with some average golfers. That's his fault.
You know what? We should go for a hit of golf with
Yeah.
you lads.
as long as we get one of those
I'm
buggies.
average too, Srey.
Mate, and I've got a hernia, so it's fine. I
true.
can't hit that
I might
far.
have to.
Anyone but Shrey.
Yeah,
I've
I'm
seen him. I've
Anyone
seen him on the
but
tee, and it's going to be the longest.
So
day
what
of
is
You
his
it?
life.
drive the cart? That's all
Yeah, I
right.
can drive the car. I can have a few
Few beers.
Lemonade.
You'd be better kicking the golf ball, I reckon.
Yeah, more of a chance.
big talk.
And I've seen you kick.
Yeah.
No, we could try. We could try the all. You might have seen the all sports golf. Have you seen that? Where
Footy
there's like
golf or-
where there's like 5 different items. One you might be a golf ball. One might be footy. One might be like a frisbee or something.
Frisbee golf was fun.
Yeah, and you just got to find a way. Maybe we'll tee that up
Yeah.
sometime this year.
I like
dos&d
that.
versus Marmalade.
I
But
like that.
boys, thank you so much for joining us on the potty. It's been awesome to connect finally and hear a little bit about your story and what you boys are doing. We are going to do some YouTube exclusive quizzing shortly, but how do we find you for those that are living under a rock?
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Everything's at marmalade_AUS, so Oz. So TikTok, Instagram, Twitter.
Facebook.
Twitter. X.
Facebook,
But you can also listen to the potty too. We're going to get you guys on our potty soon. We'll have to tee up a date
which
when
is
you
the
when
Resi's
we're all free.
podcast,
that'd be
wherever
awesome.
you find your podcast. The Resi's.
Return the favour. We'll think of some even curlier questions. to ask.
I'm surprised I haven't ran into you boys because I just moved into Richmond like a month ago. So
You probably will. So
I haven't been to a pub yet. So
We
maybe
don't-
when I go.
we don't leave.
We don't really leave like a 100-meter radius of our house unless we go to watch sports or
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
literally
barely
just
leave
watch
home.
sports.
Does Jared live with you boys too?
nah.
Because he's doing his running at the moment. I've noticed that.
Jared doesn't live with us, but he stays at our house
Yeah.
5 days a week.
Yeah, it
it's-
doesn't contribute to the
so it
rent.
doesn't live with us, yeah.
He actually last night he said, "Oh, I've got to go home, man. I've got to go home," and finally went home for the first time in 5 days. So we were surprised. We were shocked. They actually did go home.
Jeez, you would have run out of undies by that point.
We actually, I went to his house yesterday. I didn't tell you this show, but I went to Jared's house and met his housemates.
Really? How many people live at that house?
Like 5.
Wow.
But then I was like, "So how often is Jared home?" They're like, "I don't know. He's never home." I was like, "I know exactly where he
I
is."
know where he is. Is he sleeping in my bed when I'm not there?
Yeah, well, that's handy for him now that you got the missus. If you
Yeah.
go to
Oh,
her
that's
house for
true.
the night,
No
then he probably wants your schedule more than
Him and
anybody
Will
else's.
lapping it up in my big bed.
Well, you as well, Will.
Will loves a snooze, and if someone's never not home, Will is in that bed guaranteed for that night.
Yeah, our house becomes a bit of a squat. What do they call it? Squatter's house.
Squatters' rights.
Well, maybe we'll head over after a couple of beers one night and find a bed. But yeah, thank you, lads. Really appreciate it.
For those who want to watch the footy quiz, we're going to do a quiz, a few footy questions.
Oh, yes.
Head over to YouTube. But for now, yeah, thanks again, boys.
Too easy. Thanks
Cheers,
for having
thank
us
you.
on.
Welcome to everybody that's come over from the podcast, or if you've just been on YouTube and you made it this far in, welcome back. We're about to do one of our favourite segments, the Footy Nuff Quiz DOS, and what have we got in store today?
Well, we've got a new face, Will Taylor.
Yes.
Welcome, mate.
Yeah, let's clap. Let's clap. Let's clap. Let's clap. I love clapping on podcasts.
Me too. It sounds
My favourite thing.
I agree. I'm trying to install it more.
Firstly, well, you just said, Will, you're more of a cricket man. So
Yes,
how are you feeling in
massively.
regards to footy quiz and trivia?
I feel like being around Joel the last few months has made it like I've got a bit more of a footy knowledge. Playing Gridley with these two is one of the hardest things ever because I think I've got a good score, and then these two whip out just like the most no-name blokes you can possibly think of, and I'm like, well, thanks, boys.
Are you daily Gridley operators?
Used to be. Used to do it all
Used
the
to be.
time. If it's anything before 2006 or 7, I'm not gonna remember it because I was like 4 then. So if it's early 2000s, I'm in some strife.
Joel could name you like the bloke who played 2 games for Port Adelaide in like 98 or something.
Yeah,
And
I'm
he
not
subbed
surprised.
himself out,
Yeah,
which is very interesting.
he's done us dirty here.
Yeah, we're in some strife.
It's funny because one of mine, I probably won't do overly well in terms of like thinking on top of my head, but one of my, I reckon, special skills is being able to actually spot a player like in the street or like you know, like someone from like 10 years ago, like to be able to go, oh, there's, you know.
It is his superpower. I've never, like, we were in a concert the other night. Like, we went and saw Robbie Williams and there was a few players scattering about and he could just pick them from, like, distance. It's nuts.
It's a bit scary.
Yesterday we were at City Power Stadium and who walked past? Who was it? Will Bukowski. And I was like, and Jara goes to me, that's Will Bukowski. And I was like, no, it's not. And then Will goes, yeah, it is. I'm like, oh. Like, I just don't like know what
Don't
players
notice.
look like. Yeah, like,
Do you
I
have
don't
the
know.
need to say hello? Because
Nah.
Dos's other special power is he must say hello.
I feel like if you notice them, it's always polite just to say g'day.
Yeah.
But like keep it very civil.
Yeah, I'm not, hey, can I have your autograph in a photo? It's more just, you know,
Oh my
hey,
God,
mate, how are you?
please take
You
a
know.
photo with me.
So,
I'm not, hey, Eddie, how are you?
Oh,
so
jeez.
the way this quiz is going to work, Bailey, also welcome to Bailey. Bailey's on the mic. Say hello, Bales.
Hello.
We've got his lovely voice. So essentially he's going to give us, it's Marmalade versus DOS, so just buzz in with your first name. The first section is going to be player numbers, I believe, and then we're going into journeyman after that. So we'll start with player numbers.
Let's do it.
All right. First one. Adelaide,
Okay.
2023,
Okay.
number 12.
Sorry. John Dawson?
Correct.
Oh, well done.
Nice.
Good. Because I wouldn't have
Oh,
got
he's
it.
the skipper. That wasn't
Are you
hard.
keeping score, Bales?
You wouldn't have known that.
No.
Is it all Australian? Sort yourself out.
Come on, DOS.
All right, next one. Melbourne, 2017, number 39.
Sorry. Jeremy Howe?
No, it's 38.
Oh, think, DOS.
Close.
DOS.
Yeah.
Neville Jetta.
Correct.
Yeah.
I should have known that. I love Nev.
Yeah.
1-1.
I think he plays for Collingwood VFL now, Nev Jetta.
Yeah. He's one of the
Is he
assistant
coach?
coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Howe was 38, I think.
Yeah.
So close.
All right, next one. West Coast, 2008,
Cooked.
number 20.
DOS.
Don't know.
Oh,
Oh, I've got it.
no, I just realised he wasn't playing. I was going to say Dean Cox, but was it Dean Cox?
It's Dean
Oh,
Cox.
yeah.
No, I have no idea. I was 6 years old.
It's not good. Checkers is making moves in the background.
Yeah,
you know.
he's going a ruckman.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know he was still playing 2008. I have no idea.
Have you got all these right so far, checkers, by the way?
Yeah.
2-1 to
Yeah,
DOS
buddy,
and
of
D.
course he has.
All right. Western Bulldogs,
He will.
Here we go.
2012, number 4.
DOS. Daniel Cross.
Correct.
Oh, I knew it was Daniel Cross. Are you? What's up with you? Sort yourself
I
out.
didn't say my name quick enough,
Oh
man.
my god.
3-1.
All right, next one. Fremantle, 2019, number 9.
Sorry, Nat 5.
Ooh.
No.
What's that? what is Nat 5 wear?
No.
What is
It's,
Nat 5 wear?
I can see the...
DOS. Oh, no.
Will. Lockie Neal?
No. Because I was going to say him, and
Yeah.
I thought...
I can see the... I reckon it's...
Number 9.
What did I say? 9. No, Nat 5. Oh my gosh.
Number 9.
Do you know, checkers?
What was the year, sorry, Bailey?
2019.
Oh, recently.
Oh, no.
Any idea?
No.
Sorry, it's not Caleb Sarong, is it?
No.
Think we're
Are we letting that go now? Is
Yeah.
that through to the keeper?
Yeah. Bradley Hill.
Oh,
I forgot he even played.
True.
too.
He
was
did
off.
play at Freo.
So 3-1 still.
yeah.
All right. Essendon, 2006. Number 33.
Don't know.
D. Adam McPhee.
Correct.
Oh, nice. Well done.
I
that's my-
don't know who that is.
That's my sweet spot.
No.
Yeah.
Adam McPhee when he
You know the line in the sand game with the blood?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Never mind.
that the mid 2000s. That's my sweet spot.
No, that's bad.
How many questions left with this category?
There's 2 more player numbers.
Beautiful.
North Melbourne, 2002.
Oh,
Oh, well, that's the year I was born.
Number 28.
Well, Shannon Grant. Oh, no, he's not 28.
No.
2002.
28.
It's not Nathan Thompson, is it?
No.
23, I reckon.
28.
It's not.
Will, Jade Rawlings?
No.
No, that'd
What
be
number was it? 20.
28.
28.
Nothing's coming to mind.
2002.
That's a that's a nothing number.
Yeah.
is it?
I don't know.
Is it Cameron Mooney?
No.
No. What,
he's-
what number was he for North?
He only played in the,
Alright.
In the
2000.
granny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Cut it. What is it?
Byron Pickett.
Oh.
Jeez.
There's a Portman. Yeah.
Stop looking at me, Joel. You're
you
the
know
one who
that?
subbed out.
That was a hard one, I reckon. Yeah.
so
Right,
hard.
last one.
We got
Okay.
their foot on the throat now.
Yeah.
Last one of the category. Gold Coast, 2014. Number 10.
D.
Sorry. Oh,
Nathan Bach.
No.
Ooh.
sorry. Jago Amira?
No.
Michael Riscatelli?
No.
I
Yeah,
think
we're
it was
just, we're just throwing names out.
what year was it?
Oh,
2014.
Will, Alex Sexton?
No.
Oh, shit.
Number 10.
Oh, he knows. Check his nose.
Sorry. It's Carmichael Hunt?
No, he was
Nah.
7.
No one was Ablett. Who played alongside him?
I've got no idea. Is it someone really good, Checkers? No. Still around.
Still around.
Richmond, yeah? Yeah.
Dot.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought it was.
D. Dion Pestia.
Yes.
Oh, was
No,
he
that
number
was my
10?
next guest.
Let's get him, Dos.
Which is 3. That's tough.
No, there was not many people play for 3 teams. So.
I reckon there's more than you think.
It's hard. It's hard. This.
Yeah. All right.
Here we go.
First one. GWS 2012.
Sorry.
Jeez, he's gone early.
Man, we've
Maybe you
heard
only
the
get
first
one.
one.
One
no,
buzz.
it's 3. It's 3. No,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Mate, that's a lot of players.
Yeah, never mind.
Okay. GWS 2012 to Melbourne to Hawthorn 2023.
Will, Tom Scully. Oh, no.
Started at Melbourne.
Oh, Will.
What was it? GWS Melbourne Hawthorn.
GWS Melbourne Hawthorn.
2012 to 2023.
Got no idea.
DOS. Sam Frost?
Correct.
Yeah.
Well done.
You're
Jeez.
going to get that?
I wouldn't have got that either. Well done, Dos.
I'm pretty shit.
I don't even know Sam Frost on a list still.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty surprised.
Come on, Marmalade boys.
No, I'm sure he's a good man, but he just didn't know he was on a list anymore.
Checkers, are you regretting subbing out?
Western Bulldogs 2006.
Cooked.
North Melbourne. Geelong 2022.
D.
Will.
That's Sean Higgins.
That is Sean
Oh,
Higgins.
well done. I thought 06 might have been early, but
No, that was back
All right,
on.
next one. Fitzroy 1988.
Jesus.
this is right in your sweet spot, straight.
None of us were born.
Brisbane Bears. Brisbane Lions 2004.
I'll just have it go. D. Alistair Lynch.
Correct.
That's
All right. This,
That's not really
Did he
fair.
play for Fitzroy?
I didn't know. I just had a stab. I'm just like, someone's played their whole career at Brisbane.
Wow.
North Melbourne 1999. Geelong. Richmond 2007.
07, he finished at the Tigers.
North, Geelong, Richmond.
North. We won 2005.
Finished in 07 at Richmond. Jeez, that's a while back.
They retired in 2007 in Richmond. The
Yeah.
Richmond were bad.
Yeah,
in
they were
2007, so
wood-
it's
Really, really shit.
old
And you
to
never know with
retire.
these. Sometimes they like go play their like last year at a club and they just do nothing.
No, it's not.
At Richmond.
North Geelong, Richmond. I mean, notable Geelong because they've.
Geez, that must have been average if they're finishing their career at the Tigers during that era.
Yeah, as we said, boys, we've played this. I think the guy that writes the questions is running out of people too. I mean, we're going Brisbane, Fitzroy.
This is very niche.
North Geelong, not Robbie Nahas. He's
Not
done it for ages.
Robbie Nars.
Good man, I bet.
Yeah.
No, I've actually got no idea.
I don't know either.
No, don't know.
Nah. Kent Kingsley.
I don't know who that is. That's disgusting.
Should have gotten that.
I couldn't have
We
done
were
that
talking
one.
about him the other day.
Only because I was certain that Adam Kingsley was Kent Kingsley, and then I read something the other day, and I'm like, when the fuck did Kent Kingsley play for Port Adelaide?
Who was a Kent Kingsley?
And I'm like, oh, there's two.
Do you remember Kent Kingsley?
No.
He was like a forward for Geelong.
Oh,
Yeah,
And,
okay.
and I swear he was a coach at GWS. Like,
No, that's bad.
This one's probably not going to be any better.
oh no.
North Melbourne,
Oh
1989.
my gosh.
To Essendon. To Sydney, 1996.
North.
They played for 7 years.
North Essendon, Sydney. Did you say?
What was the last year?
1996.
And they started 89, so they played for 7 years.
They might have moved to Sydney at 1996. I'm not sure if they
Oh, yeah,
finished
yeah.
or they moved there that year.
Mate, I'm stumped.
North, what did you say? North.
North, 1989. To Essendon. To Sydney, 1996.
North Essendon, Sydney. Is he pretty well known?
No idea.
Okay.
No idea. Sick.
Wow, great. That's
It'll be
helpful.
great for Gridley when it comes back.
Yeah.
Kent Kingsley, that's really stumped me. I don't know who that is.
You're still on Kent
Yeah,
Kingslly.
really, that's hurting my head.
Yeah.
North
It is
Essendon,
hard.
Oh, mate, I'm
Well,
part.
I'll give you a hint.
Yeah.
Like, the last name also starts with K.
That doesn't.
Still not helping.
I've got no clue. Do you have any idea?
No idea.
Derek Kickett.
Derek. Oh,
Yeah.
That's so niche. It's not
I only
nice.
know him for the lead.
I'm sorry, lads.
He's a household name, isn't he?
I'm sorry, lads. All the good and more recent names have obviously been taken over the journey.
That's okay.
And that's the guy.
Well done. We've done.
We've been done in. We've been absolutely done in there.
Oh, God.
But Derek Kickett.
Well, we didn't know any of those either.
Yeah. Well, if you did make it through that tumultuous quiz that we just played, please subscribe. Thank you very much to the Marmalade boys, Will and Srey. Thank you so much, boys.
Thank you for having us.
And yeah, appreciate it. Bad luck, and maybe you'll get us on the golf course.
Probably not.